In the heart of the Cold War, President Ronald Reagan received a briefing that would forever change his understanding of the world. This wasn't about Soviet missiles or communist spies. This was about something far stranger: unidentified flying objects. The year was 1981, and the world stood on the brink of nuclear war. Yet, in a secluded room, the leader of the free world was being told about objects from beyond our planet. The information shared in this meeting, long shrouded in secrecy, has captivated researchers and the public alike. The briefing, rumored to have taken place at Camp David or a similarly secure location, wasn't just a presentation of grainy photos and anecdotal accounts. It was a carefully curated collection of evidence and analysis, presented by top officials who believed this issue was of paramount importance. The existence of the briefing itself points to the gravity with which the government viewed the UFO phenomenon, even as they publicly denied its significance. The briefing wasn't just about convincing Reagan of the existence of UFOs. It was about conveying the potential implications of this reality for national security, for the future of humanity, and for Reagan's role as the leader of the free world. Whatever was said in that room, it clearly had a profound effect on the president. He would go on to make several public statements, hinting at his belief in extraterrestrial life, and even raised the issue with Soviet Premier Mikhail Gorbachev. The exact contents of the briefing remained a closely guarded secret for decades. Only through Freedom of Information Act requests and the tireless work of researchers have we begun to piece together what transpired in that room. It's a story that blends Cold War paranoia with the awe-inspiring possibility of life beyond Earth. It's a story that continues to unfold today as more information comes to light and as we grapple with the implications of what it means to share our universe with other intelligent beings. The identities of those present at the briefing are as intriguing as the information they shared. While the full list remains classified, we know that key figures from the intelligence community, the military, and possibly even scientific advisors were in attendance. These weren't low-level bureaucrats, but individuals with direct access to the most sensitive information available. Their presence speaks volumes about the seriousness with which the government viewed the UFO issue. At the head of the table sat President Reagan, a man known for his Hollywood charisma and his unwavering belief in American strength. Reagan's skepticism was no secret, yet he was also a man of deep faith, open to the wonders of the universe. How did he reconcile his pragmatism with the possibility of extraterrestrial visitors? The briefing likely presented him with a side of reality he could never have imagined. The individuals presenting the information to Reagan were likely drawn from various intelligence agencies, including the CIA and the NSA. These were men and women who had spent their careers dealing with the unknown, analyzing threats both foreign and domestic. To stand before the president and present evidence of UFOs, they must have been convinced of the reality and the gravity of the situation. The presence of scientific advisors at the briefing is particularly intriguing. These would have been experts in fields like astrophysics, aerospace engineering, and perhaps even exobiology, the study of life beyond Earth. Their role would have been to provide context for the evidence presented, to explain what was known and unknown about the capabilities of such advanced technology. Their presence underscores the fact that this was not just a briefing on national security, but also a crash course in the potential implications of contact with an extraterrestrial civilization. The briefing delved into some of the most compelling and controversial UFO incidents in history. Chief among these was the infamous Roswell incident of 1947. The event, shrouded in mystery and speculation for decades, took center stage in the briefing. Witnesses described a crashed object unlike anything they had ever seen, and rumors quickly spread of recovered bodies and a government cover-up. The Roswell incident wasn't just a local curiosity. It became a defining moment in UFO lore, sparking countless books, documentaries, and conspiracy theories. The briefing likely presented Reagan with the government's official explanation of the event, a downed weather balloon, while also acknowledging the persistent rumors and the public's fascination with the unknown. Another incident discussed was the Kenneth Arnold sighting of 1947, Arnold, a businessman and pilot, reported seeing 9 unusual objects flying near Mount Rainier in Washington state. His description of the objects moving like saucers, skipping on water, gave birth to the term flying saucers and helped ignite the modern era of UFO sightings. The briefing likely included detailed accounts of these and other historic UFO encounters, complete with witness testimonies, radar data, and possibly even recovered debris. These cases, carefully curated from years of reports, were chosen for their credibility and their potential to demonstrate the reality of the phenomenon. The goal was not to convince Reagan of alien visitation, but to present him with the most compelling evidence available and allow him to draw his own conclusions. The briefing took place at a pivotal moment in the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in an arms race, each side amassing nuclear arsenals capable of destroying the world many times over. In this climate of fear and paranoia, the possibility of an extraterrestrial threat added another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. One of the most intriguing aspects of the briefing was its discussion of the potential link between UFOs and national security. Reagan was a staunch anti-communist who believed in the importance of a strong national defense. The briefing likely played on these concerns, presenting UFOs as a potential threat that could not be ignored. Were these unknown objects Soviet technology? Were they extraterrestrial probes sent to monitor our nuclear capabilities? These were questions that haunted the minds of Cold War strategists. The briefing coincided with Reagan's push for the Strategic Defense Initiative, a proposed missile defense system that would become known as Star Wars. This program, aimed at protecting the United States from a nuclear attack, was seen by some as a response to the perceived threat posed by UFOs. Whether or not this was the case remains a subject of debate, but it's clear that the briefing took place against a backdrop of heightened Cold War tensions. The briefing likely outlined the potential threats posed by UFOs, including the possibility of hostile actions, technological espionage, and even the psychological impact of an unknown intelligence operating in our airspace. It's important to remember that this was the height of the Cold War, and any unknown technology was immediately perceived as a potential threat. The possibility that these objects might be of extraterrestrial origin only added to the sense of urgency. Section 5, Reagan's Questions, America's Concerns. Faced with this staggering information, Reagan, a man known for his sharp wit and inquisitive nature, undoubtedly had questions. While the briefing transcript remains largely classified, we can only imagine the range of inquiries he posed to his advisors. Did these objects pose a direct threat to the United States? What were their intentions? Was there any evidence of previous contact with these beings? Reagan's questions likely reflected the broader concerns of the American public. The UFO phenomenon, once relegated to the realm of science fiction and conspiracy theories, was now being presented as a matter of national security. The briefing forced Reagan to confront questions that had lingered in the public consciousness for decades. Are we alone in the universe? And if not, what does that mean for humanity? The briefing likely addressed these questions with a mix of caution and uncertainty. While there was no evidence of hostile intent from these unidentified objects, their origins and capabilities remained unknown. The briefing likely emphasized the need for further study, for increased surveillance, and for a measured response to this unprecedented situation. The briefing also likely explored the potential impact of revealing this information to the public. In an era defined by Cold War anxieties, the news of potential extraterrestrial visitors could spark widespread panic or even societal collapse. The decision to keep the briefing secret, while controversial, was likely driven by a desire to avoid mass hysteria and maintain national security. Section 6. The legacy of the briefing. The 1981 UFO briefing of President Reagan stands as a pivotal moment in the history of the UFO phenomenon. It marked a shift from dismissing UFO sightings as mere hoaxes or misidentifications to recognizing them as a potential national security concern. The briefing, shrouded in secrecy for decades, continues to fuel speculation and debate about the true nature of UFOs and the government's knowledge of them. The briefing had a lasting impact on Reagan's thinking, He would go on to make several public statements hinting at his belief in extraterrestrial life, famously asking the United Nations in 1987, "What if we were all threatened by an alien power from outer space?" These statements, coming from the leader of the free world, fueled public interest in UFOs and helped legitimize the subject in the eyes of many. The legacy of the briefing extends beyond Reagan's presidency. It has inspired countless books, documentaries, and research projects dedicated to uncovering the truth about UFOs. It has also fueled calls for greater government transparency on the issue, with many demanding the release of all classified documents related to the briefing and other UFO encounters. The briefing serves as a reminder that the UFO phenomenon is not just about strange lights in the sky. It raises fundamental questions about our place in the universe, the nature of reality, and the limits of human knowledge. It challenges our assumptions and forces us to grapple with the possibility that we are not alone. The 1981 briefing, while groundbreaking, remains largely shrouded in secrecy. The full transcript, along with the identities of all those present, has never been officially released. This lack of transparency has only fueled speculation and conspiracy theories, with some claiming that the government is withholding crucial information about the true nature of UFOs. The quest for transparency has been a long and arduous one. Researchers and journalists have filed countless Freedom of Information Act requests, seeking to pry loose any documents related to the briefing. While some information has been declassified over the years, much of it remains redacted or completely out of reach. The government's reluctance to release more information has been attributed to various factors, including national security concerns, a desire to avoid public panic, and a fear of revealing technological secrets. However, many argue that the public has a right to know the truth about UFOs, especially if these objects pose a potential threat to our planet. The fight for transparency continues today, with organizations like the National UFO Reporting Center and the Mutual UFO Network advocating for greater government disclosure. The release of the full transcript of the 1981 briefing would be a major victory for transparency, shedding light on a pivotal moment in UFO history and potentially revealing new insights into the phenomenon. The 1981 briefing, along with recent events like the Pentagon's confirmation of the authenticity of leaked UFO videos, has reignited the debate about government disclosure of UFO information. The question is no longer whether or not the government knows something, but what they know and when they will share it with the public. There is a growing sense, both within the government and among the public, that the time for secrecy is over. The stigma surrounding UFOs is slowly fading, and more people are demanding answers. A recent Gallup poll found that a majority of Americans believe that the government is not telling us everything it knows about UFOs. The pressure for disclosure is coming from all sides, from scientists and academics to politicians and former military officials. Many argue that the public has a right to know about any potential threats posed by UFOs, as well as the potential benefits of contact with an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. The future of disclosure remains uncertain. However, the momentum is clearly shifting towards greater transparency. Whether this will culminate in a full-blown truth reveal or a more gradual release of information remains to be seen. One thing is certain: the world is watching, and the pressure for answers is only going to grow. The 1981 briefing of President Reagan, regardless of what one believes about UFOs, highlights the importance of seeking the truth, no matter how strange or unsettling it may seem. The briefing challenged Reagan's worldview, forcing him to confront the possibility that we are not alone in the universe. It's a challenge that we as a society must also be willing to embrace. The search for truth about UFOs is not just about satisfying our curiosity. It's about expanding our understanding of the universe and our place within it. It's about challenging our assumptions and being open to the possibility that reality is far stranger and more wondrous than we ever imagined. The pursuit of truth is never easy. It requires courage, open-mindedness, and a willingness to question everything we think we know. The 1981 briefing serves as a reminder that the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered. It's up to us to seek it out, to follow the evidence wherever it may lead, and to never stop asking questions. The journey to uncover the truth about UFOs is far from over. It's a journey that will require collaboration, critical thinking, and a shared commitment to uncovering the truth, no matter how unsettling it may be. The 1981 briefing was just one step on this journey, a step that has led us to a deeper understanding of the mystery and the potential of the UFO phenomenon. The 1981 UFO briefing of President Reagan stands as a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. It reminds us that we live in a universe of infinite possibilities, where the line between science fiction and reality is often blurred. Whether we are on the verge of official confirmation of extraterrestrial life or still grappling with the mysteries of the cosmos, the briefing serves as a reminder to remain curious, to question our assumptions, and to never stop exploring the boundaries of knowledge and understanding. The briefing, though shrouded in secrecy, has had a profound impact on our culture and our collective consciousness. It has fueled our imaginations, inspired countless works of art and literature, and spurred scientific inquiry into the nature of the universe and the potential for life beyond Earth. It has also forced us to confront the ethical and philosophical implications of contact with an extraterrestrial civilization. As we move forward, the lessons of the 1981 briefing will continue to guide us. The quest for truth, the pursuit of knowledge, and the exploration of the unknown are all essential parts of what it means to be human. The universe is vast and mysterious, and we are only just beginning to scratch the surface of its secrets. The 1981 briefing, with all its intrigue and unanswered questions, serves as a reminder to never stop looking up at the stars and wondering what might be out there.